Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into the really fast-moving world of online gaming. It's just exploding with innovation, always pushing digital entertainment forward.
It really is constant change.
But when things grow that fast, regulation sometimes lags behind, and that's led to some, well, serious concerns bubbling up.
That's often the case, yeah.
Which brings us to our topic, India's new Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Bill 2025. This isn't a small tweak. It's a major piece of legislation aiming to completely reshape online gaming there. So what's actually in it?
Right. Our main source for this is the bill text itself. Bill text Online Gaming Bill 2025.pdf. It lays out the whole framework, the reasoning behind it, gives us a direct look.
Okay. So our mission today for you listening is to really unpack this. We'll dig into why it's happening, the key differences it draws between game types, and, what it means for gaming, innovation, and crucially safety in India. It's a big one. Let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So the bill kicks things off by acknowledging the huge potential here. It calls online gaming one of the most dynamic and fastest growing segments of the digital and creative economy. What kind of opportunities does it actually point to?
Yeah, it's surprisingly positive at the start. It talks about significant opportunities for innovation, cognitive development, employment generation, technological advancement, and global competitiveness. It even mentions India's young talent pool and tech skills.
So positioning India for a leadership role, essentially.
Exactly. It sees it as a potential economic powerhouse, really.
That sounds great, almost like full speed ahead. But what's interesting is right alongside that optimism, the bill talks about the other side of the coin. What are the downsides it highlights?
Well, despite all that potential, it points out the sector's been running in the absence of a dedicated institutional and legal framework.
The regulatory gap.
Precisely. And it says this gap has hindered the sector's structured development and the promotion of responsible gaming practices. Basically, it argues there's a need for urgent policy intervention. The potential's there, but it needs structure.
That makes sense. Things moving so fast online, you need guardrails. So if the issue is the lack of structure, how does the bill propose to fix it? I notice a lot of focus on definitions early on. Is that the starting point?
Absolutely. That's core to the whole strategy, carefully defining different types of online activities. First, you have the very broad term, online game,
Okay.
which is basically any game on an electronic device using the internet. Covers pretty much everything digital.
Right, the big umbrella.
Then it gets specific. We have esport. This is defined as an online game and multi-sport events involving organized competitive events where the outcome depends solely on skill, physical dexterity, mental agility, strategic thinking, that kind of thing.
Skill-based competition.
Exactly. And crucially, it states esports shall not involve the placing of bets, wagers, or any other stakes.
No betting.
No betting. It can have registration fees or prize money based on performance, and it's recognized under their National Sports Governance Act.
Okay, so esports, pure skill, no stakes. That's a clear boundary.
A very clear boundary.
Uh,
Then there's online social game. These are games just for entertainment, recreation, or skill development purposes.
so for fun or learning.
Right. And the key part is it does not involve staking of money or other stakes or participation with the expectation of winning by way of monetary gain. You might pay a subscription or a one-time fee to access it, but that payment isn't a stake. No winning money.
Okay, esports for competing, social games for fun or skills, neither involve winning money directly from playing, which leads us to the big one, I suppose.
Indeed, the final category, online money game. This is any online game, and it stresses irrespective of whether such game is based on skill, chance, or both.
Skill or chance doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter for this definition. It's played by paying fees or putting up money or stakes in expectation of winning, which entails monetary and other enrichment. And it explicitly says this category shall not include any esports.
Okay. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? These definitions, they're not just like background info. They seem fundamental. They dictate what's allowed and what's not.
They absolutely are. The entire regulatory approach hinges on these distinctions.
So given the potential the bill acknowledges, why the drastic step of completely prohibiting one whole category? Why single out online money games like that? What are the big worries?
Well, the bill lays out a really serious list of problems tied specifically to these games. It talks about serious social, financial, psychological, and public health harms,
Wow.
especially affecting young individuals and economically disadvantaged groups. It mentions outcomes like financial ruin, mental health disorders, and increasing incidents of fraud and exploitation.
Financial ruin, that's strong language. It's hitting hard on the individual impact.
Very hard. And it goes beyond just losing money. The bill also points to the game design itself, saying they often use manipulative design features, addictive algorithms, bots, and undisclosed agents.
Manipulative design.
Yeah, undermining fairness, transparency, user protection. Essentially promoting compulsive behavior. It suggests they're built to hook people in.
So not just passive fun, but actively designed to be, well, addictive.
That's the implication, and this is amplified, the bill says, by aggressively marketed through pervasive advertising campaigns, including celebrity and influencer endorsements.
Ah, the marketing blitz.
Right, which expands their reach, especially the young people in vulnerable groups.
Okay, individual harm, addictive design, aggressive marketing. What else?
Yeah, it gets even more serious. The bill links the unchecked expansion of these games to unlawful activities including financial fraud, money laundering, tax evasion.
Money laundering.
Yes, and in some cases, the financing of terrorism. It frames these as posing threats to national security, public order, and the integrity of the state.
National security threats? That's a huge escalation from individual harm. How does it make that connection? Is it the flow of money?
Primarily the unchecked, often untraceable flow of money, and the potential for these platforms to be exploited by bad actors. That's the national integrity concern. And adding to the problem,
Yes.
many operators are based offshore, outside India. They bypass local laws, undermine state rules, and create huge enforcement challenges due to jurisdiction issues. Makes them very hard to control.
Right, the offshore problem. Difficult to regulate what you can't easily reach.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, putting all that together, the bill concludes it's more prudent and practical to completely prohibit the activity of online money gaming rather than attempts to regulation. Prohibition is seen as the only effective solution for this specific type of gaming.
That paints a really stark picture. It's not just about protecting consumers. The bill views these specific games as a systemic risk, affecting everything from personal well-being right up to national security. That's the core insight, isn't it? They see it as too risky to even try regulating.
That seems to be the assessment, yes.
Okay, so with money games off the table, how does the bill plan to handle the other categories, esports and social games? What's the plan for promoting and regulating those?
It outlines quite a few positive steps. For esports, the government plans to create guidelines for events, set up training academies, research centers, basically institutions to advance esports.
Building an infrastructure.
Yeah, and introducing incentive schemes, awareness campaigns, coordinating with states and sports bodies. The big goal is recognizing esports as a legitimate form of competitive sport.
Right, bringing it fully into the mainstream like traditional sports.
That's the idea. And for online social games, it's similar but focused differently. They'll create a mechanism for registration, support development platforms, push for more public access to safe and age-appropriate social gaming content,
Safe and age-appropriate. Okay.
and run awareness programs on their positive use, things like recreation, skill building, even digital literacy. Plus, coordination with states and schools.
So for social games, it's about fostering responsible use and safe content. And who's going to manage all this? Is there a new body being created?
Yes, the bill proposes establishing an authority on online gaming, or maybe designating an existing body to take on this role.
An authority, okay.
Its job is coordinated policy support, strategic development, and regulatory oversight. Key powers include deciding if a game fits the online money game definition, which means it's prohibited, and then recognizing, categorizing, and registering the others, like esports and social games.
So it's the gatekeepers, essentially.
Pretty much. And it'll also handle user complaints about games being prejudicial to the interests of users.
Sounds like a central regulator for gaming. Is there like a budget allocated for this? It sounds expensive.
There is. The bill's financial memorandum estimates an initial setup cost of about 50 crore rupees, plus 20 crore rupees annually for ongoing expenses, funded from the Consolidated Fund of India.
50 crore initial, 20 crore annual. Okay, that's a serious financial commitment. It shows they're not just banning things, but also investing in managing the parts they want to encourage.
It definitely underscores a commitment to the whole framework.
But of course, rules need enforcement. What happens if people break these new rules? What are the penalties?
The penalties are quite stiff. If someone offers an online money gaming service, which is now prohibited, they could face imprisonment up to 3 years or a fine up to 1 crore rupees, or potentially both.
1 crore? That's 10 million rupees.
Yes. And for a repeat offense, it jumps significantly. 3 to 5 years in prison and a fine between 1 and 2 crore rupees.
Wow, significant jail time, not just fines. It sends a strong message.
A very strong message. Advertising these prohibited games also carries penalties up to 2 years imprisonment or a 50 lakh rupee fine, or both. Repeat offenses mean 2 to 3 years and 50 lakh to 1 crore fine.
So advertising is also a serious offense.
Absolutely. And even facilitating funds for online money games like payment processors or banks might do, that's punishable too. Up to 3 years or a 1 crore fine or both, with similar increases for repeat offenses.
And I think you mentioned something about the nature of these offenses. Cognizable and non-bailable. What does that mean in practice?
Right. The offenses for actually offering the service and facilitating the funds are classified as cognizable and non-bailable. Cognizable means police can arrest suspects without needing a warrant first.
Immediate arrest possible.
Yes, and non-bailable means getting bail isn't automatic. It's up to the court's discretion, implying these are viewed as very serious crimes.
Okay, that definitely highlights the gravity. What about companies? Is it just the company fined, or are individuals responsible?
The bill covers that too. It says the company is liable, and every person who, at the time the offense was committed, was in charge of and was responsible to the company.
So management is on the hook, personally.
Potentially, yes. It also includes directors, managers, other officers, if the offense happened with their consent, connivance, or even due to their neglect. There's an exception for independent directors who weren't involved in decisions.
So they're really trying to ensure individual accountability within corporations?
It seems that way. And just failing to follow the new authorities' directions can lead to penalties up to 10 lakh rupees, or having your registration suspended or canceled, or being banned from offering games altogether. The authority has teeth.
Definitely sounds like it. What about practical enforcement, like shutting down illegal sites or investigating?
The bill grants broad powers there, too. It allows for blocking access to online money gaming services. And authorized officers can investigate and critically enter any place, whether physical or digital, and search and arrest without warrant any person suspected of an offense.
Enter any place, physical or digital.
That's what it says. Any place includes premises, building, vehicle, computer resource, virtual digital space, electronic records, or electronic storage device. And officers can even gain access to such computer resource by overriding any access control or security code.
Wow. Overriding security codes, those are some really sweeping powers for investigation and enforcement. It seems designed to tackle those offshore challenges and the digital nature of this head on.
It certainly gives law enforcement significant tools to work with.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive, the main goal of India's online gaming bill seems crystal clear. It's trying to build, as it says, a secure, structured, and innovation-friendly digital environment.
Right.
And it does that by drawing these really sharp lines, boosting esports and social games, but putting up a hard stop, a complete prohibition against online money games because of all those risks we discussed.
Yeah, the key takeaways for me are, 1, just how crucial those definitions are. They shape everything else. 2, the sheer breadth of reasons behind banning money games from individual harm right up to national security. And 3, the comprehensive nature of the regulation and enforcement plan for the rest of the sector. It's a very deliberate, multi-pronged approach.
Absolutely. And, thinking bigger picture, it makes you wonder, what's the long-term ripple effect going to be? How will this kind of explicit national framework affect India's digital economy, its place in the global gaming scene?
That's the big question.
Could this approach, especially that clear split between skill-based gaming and anything involving stakes or monetary gain, become a sort of model for other countries? Many are wrestling with similar issues in this space, aren't they? It's definitely a bold strategy, and watching how it plays out will be fascinating.